John, breathe. Breathe.
I don't think he can.
I don't think he
Can't do it anymore.
can't. Is this not appropriate music for the day?
It's very appropriate.
Okay.
Is that the Napoleon Dynamite?
I wish people in the background would quit talking. It's like somebody in the green room screaming at David Letterman. I'm not going to have it.
He doesn't know we're recording
Yeah,
yet.
that's true. We're recording, by the way, so everybody knows. I'm about to pause this music. I don't want to, because it has less than a minute left, and it's making you laugh so hard. I think it's the guy in the Uncle Sam outfit playing the electric guitar.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's enough. That's done. We're definitely donezo with that. Hey, everybody, I'm Dave.
I'm John.
It took a second. Welcome back to the Dave Show featuring John. Our second show in 3 months.
4 months.
4 months. 6 months.
A long hiatus.
Yeah, a little bit of a hiatus. We're back now. Who knows when we'll be back again. Got a big show, special show planned today. I opened us up with a little bit of America the Beautiful because I had to find a free version because it's a public domain song.
Oh,
but I can't use the Ray Charles version because that's copyrighted and such like that. You learn about that stuff in media law. Did you learn about it today? Hold on. I got to pause. All right, we were just interrupted by John's girlfriend. She had a list. What was it?
For my vegetable beef soup.
Oh, the ingredient list?
Yeah.
Oh, do you need some soup? Is this your normal soup? Or are you feeling sick? You don't look too good.
This is not my normal soup.
You look. I told you this earlier. You look like you filled the bathtub up with hay fever and rolled around in it. But it's not allergies. What's wrong?
I got food poisoned in Atlanta.
You got food poison in Atlanta. And why were you in Atlanta?
I went down to watch Kentucky play in the Sweet 16 in the Elite 8.
What?
Living it up.
Really?
Living the big time.
And you bought these tickets far ahead of time, I'm assuming?
About 4 weeks before the brackets were actually announced.
Okay, so you had to buy the tickets and then hope that UK was put in the South region.
Yeah. That's what I guessed right. Because Joe Lenardi said they were going to St. Louis, but
right.
John North said they were going to Atlanta.
Uh-oh, and who was right?
I was.
And how did you like Atlanta?
It was fun, except being food poisoned.
Where did you eat that gave you the food poisoning?
Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffles.
Oh, boy. Chicken.
Screw that place.
What did you have at
Chicken and Waffles.
Did you? I mean, is it just...
I don't even want to talk about it because I may barf all over the microphone.
Oh, man. So you were sick and...
I got sick. I ate the Chicken and Waffles about 8 p.m. and I was sick by 2 a.m. and I stayed sick until about 8 p.m. to 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday evening.
Yeah. So you went to the game sick.
Yeah, without sleep or food.
Awesome. And of course you screamed and acted like an idiot at the game. I remember texting you saying, I think I just saw you on TV. Are you the one wearing blue?
Yeah, you did. I think that was Friday night.
So you went down to Atlanta for a little vacation. You missed some classes.
2 classes.
2 classes. Spent a little bit of money.
A little bit.
And
mostly on food and
which is what I'm getting to is you went there for the NCAA tournament. You watched UK win 2 games. I refuse to believe you didn't spend all your money on University of Kentucky basketball clothing.
Actually, it was just on food and the MARTA and the attractions we went to, which was the wide world of Coke.
You went to the
Coke
Museum?
It's not called the Wide World of Coke, but it's like the world of Coke.
Yeah.
And I went to the aquarium.
Now.
And walked through Olympic Park.
Now, I don't think it was the chicken and waffles that made you sick.
What was it?
I think it was drinking every single sample for the Cokes around the world part of the museum, factory, tourist trap, whatever it is.
Then that may be true because
they have a place where in there where you just get a little plastic cup and
and you go around to all of them. It's just like fountain drinks and you just stick it under there,
and it's Coke recipes from other countries.
Yeah.
So how many were there?
I think there were like 6 at each station. They had one for like Europe, Latin America, Africa, North America, and Asia. I think that's all the stations.
So they had like what 5 or 6
yeah,
continents,
they had
and then
6 or 7.
So it was nearly 40, between 30 and 40 sodas you drank.
Yeah.
In what amount of time?
Under an hour.
Awesome. So did you get big, malnourished belly?
Yeah.
Was your belly just sticking out full of bubbles and just, oh man, I bet that felt great.
And then I went and ate chicken and waffles.
Then you went and ate chicken and waffles.
I had to wait for about like an hour and a half to get into the place because it's so packed.
Right. And you just, instead of saying, hey, I think we'll go to McDonald's.
I wish I would have.
Yep. But you didn't. I think that anything you would have had combined with all the sugar in your system was it was destined for bad times for bonbons.
Well, I got to see Kentucky win, so that's all that matters.
It's true.
That's what I went down there for.
And who's Kentucky play this week?
U of LOL.
Ha.
University of Louisville.
Yep. And you got anything to say about that? Or are you saving it all for Twitter?
Kentucky wins by 15. That's all I'll say.
15?
Yep.
I'll say Kentucky wins by 45. I said, it's a special time for U of L fans because this rarely happens. That's for the second week in the entire NCAA season. U of L fans remember that they have a basketball team. The first time it happened was in December, and they lost by 7 to UK.
7.
And just like with the Indiana game, people are like, oh, well, this is a different Louisville team you're seeing now. It's like, well, first off, no, it's not. I watched the Big East tournament. Yeah. It's literally the same team. However, this is not the same Kentucky that was playing in December. No. This is a post-Vandy Kentucky. And post-Vandy Kentucky gives no fucks.
No,
man. Just the creating turnovers is the only thing that I can even glom onto. I mean, I'm not going to mention anything else awesome about Kentucky except for the turnovers they create.
I think they don't get enough credit either for how smart they play and how unselfish they are.
Right.
Like Anthony Davis leads the team in points, yet he's 5th on the team of shot attempt.
Yeah.
And same with Gilchrist. He's 4th, and yet he scores a bunch too.
What I think's funny about Davis is that he loves that one shot that's just the worst shot in all of basketball. That one step inside the 3-point line.
Yeah.
And at the top of the key, he just shoots it, and it goes in a whole lot. I can handle it when he shoots from the top, but when he starts doing it from the side, it's like, don't do that. It's such a bad shot.
I think the best quote, though, I texted you. I said, no work will be done in the state of Kentucky this week, and you said that's twice as much.
That's twice as much as what normally happens. So, well, you want to get to our special guest, or is there anything else on the planet we can talk about first?
I may just take a nap.
You think so?
Let you guys.
Well, I know you said that laughing hurts from all the throwing up you've done in the past
also got
day or so.
Splotches all over my face, which people think are
freckles. I know. Oh, and your eyes are so bloodshot too.
Yeah,
it's pretty amusing for me because you terrorize me, so I like seeing you suffer really. And you're not even sick anymore. You're just recovering.
And I'm pretty weak, but
so I'm sure you'll milk it from Sam. Yeah. I'm sure bonbons will turn into big baby. Big baby bonbons will definitely want
soup.
Soup.
Yeah, I'm getting some soup.
You and soup.
Soup is the best.
Soup and waffles.
Don't talk
chicken
about
soup,
chicken and
chicken
waffles.
Soup and waffles. Is that what you're gonna do? Don't throw up on this mic. I borrowed it. All right. Well, this is a special show here at Fictional University, where we all go to college at Fictional University, where we don't say the name of the actual college we go to, nor do we mention people's names who are not us. Trying to discreetly go over the ground rules I forgot to go over.
Before the show started.
Yeah. But student government elections are this week, and we have two people who are running for different positions, and I decided, what the heck, we never have special guests on this show, especially after that time we had Will on.
It's the worst show ever.
Yeah, Will is actually running for, what is it, the
Social
public
media.
relations.
Yeah.
Yeah, the public relations chair, which he's not going to win, so I guess that's why he decided not to show up. Oh no! Wait,
Bowling nationals.
He's
He
at
had to go
bowling.
practice.
He's at bowling practice with what, a torn
Meniscus.
MCL.
Yeah,
he's got a
something.
torn MCL and he's gone to bowling practice.
Yeah. Whatever. Fake.
Not recruited
faking it,
for
Will.
intelligence. No. Oh, stop faking it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Well, first up, we have a guy who's running for vice presidential chair of something on SGA. I don't know. Aaron McCollum is here. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
First, I'm going to talk a little louder.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
I like it. I like it. Now, what chair exactly are you running for?
I'm running for Vice President of Athletics, which is the most important position here at Fictional College.
Fictional University.
Fictional
Sorry to correct you.
University.
We upgraded. We upgraded between seasons.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we got accredited finally. So
Sweet.
the programs have expanded.
Good.
So vice president of, what was it, athletic affairs?
Of athletic affairs, athletes, something like that.
Gotcha. Now, you have a little a unique situation here in that you are running unopposed.
Yeah.
Nobody else, not even, and also you are not an athlete, and by that I mean you do not play for any. You are not on any of Fictional University's sports teams. You play a lot of intramural, a lot of different intramural things. Not basketball, right? But the other
Yeah,
sort
I'm not very good.
you're into the futsal and the hantus and other made-up sports that only white people have heard of.
Yeah. I enjoy it, though.
Yeah. There's those games seem like they have more of a social aspect to them.
I don't have a coach looking at me all the time telling me
Yeah.
what I'm doing wrong, and I don't have to go to team functions. I show up when I want.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice setup.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So nobody's running against you. Now, what does Vice President of Athletic Affairs do?
Before I answer that question, I'll tell you how I actually got to this.
Yes. Yeah. Tell us the process that led to you deciding to run for Vice President of Athletic Affairs.
Well, originally I was planning on running for Vice President of Business Affairs because I thought that because I wasn't an actual athlete here, I couldn't run for the position. So I ran for business. And I was walking back from the apartment and I was cornered by Andrew Long and
We don't say names.
by
I don't even know who that is.
Me either.
by other people, and they
There we
You already
go.
said it now. No need to go back and correct yourself.
Oh.
Hey, Andrew, I don't know who you are, but I guess this Aaron McCollum thing is your fault, huh?
Yep.
Okay, continue your story.
Okay. Anyways, I was cornered by him and
Yeah, you can say his
Okay,
name.
I
His
say
here.
He's here.
I was cornered by Richie Mathis, and they threatened me and beat me up and said if I don't switch from business to athletics, that bad things would happen.
Is that
So you got threatened.
so? You were coerced, intimidated, and threatened, and all these other, frankly, illegal things. If this was the real world and not
And not
a college,
fictional podcast?
not a fictional podcast. Sure.
No, but I was asked to move to the athletics one because there's nobody running for it.
That's true.
And so I was like, you know what, that probably fits me a little better. So I looked at the job description. I saw that, hey, you don't have to be an athlete. At least they didn't say it on the email.
Right.
So
Because like the
Yeah.
one you were running or were thinking of running for, but like some of the chairs, like you need to be a business major to run,
Yes.
or you need to be a psych major, or you need to be some other major that's pretty much useless with a.
and with the business one, I mean, I major in business administration, so it would work out for me. But I just felt that the athletics one would be something more along the lines of what I want to do one day
Right.
when I grow up.
Sure. Don't mind me. I'm just messing with the microphones.
So I'm excited for it. I'm
Yeah.
running on a post, so I'll be doing it next year. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So what are your duties really? Like if an athlete has a problem, do they come to you and say, "Hey, I have an athletic affair"?
Nice way of putting it.
And you say, "How can I help your athletic affair?" Are these sort of like liaison positions between the administration and the students? Or do you think that they should be? Because I feel like you should go up the chain of command when you have a problem, but it's not. A lot of people here, with their entitlement, they feel they need to start at the top of the chain and then work their way down. And do you think that your student government position, as a member of student government, that students should feel like they should come to you and then you try and direct them?
Well, I hope they would. That is one part of my job, is to get complaints or get issues from athletes and bring them to the athletic director. I'm one of the intermediaries between the athletes and then the athletic director. So hopefully they will view me as somebody that they can come to and talk about things. Because another part of my job is actually meeting with the athletic director, I believe, once a month.
Right.
And that's actually going to be an exciting part because we're getting a new athletic director.
Mm-hmm.
So
have they hired whoever that is yet?
They're going to wait until they hire the president, and then once they get the president, then they're going to decide if the AD is going to report directly to the president or not. So they expect an announcement to be made. I mean, I would probably expect one to be made probably in July at the latest. I mean, the president's going to be announced at the end of April. And then I don't know if they're going to work on an AD after April or after July when the president finally takes their position.
So does that mean I still have time to put my application in?
To be AD?
Yeah, to be the athletic director. They have to look at it, right?
They have to.
Well,
I mean, that they don't have to look at it very long.
Yeah.
Because I almost put in my application for president, and I thought about putting one in for dean of students since that position's opening up. Wouldn't that be a great job to have?
That would be awesome.
People come to me to complain. I'll be like, "Look, have you gone through your assigned SGA liaison yet?" That's what I would do. I would make people go to their SGA person and then have the SGA. I would only talk to the SGA members. I would be the dean. I would be the dean of 7 students. They would change the name. Well, Aaron, I would tell you good luck.
Thanks.
However, I don't think you need it as far as the election goes. And it sounds like you've got a pretty good handle on what the job is going to be and how you're going to do in it. So, really, you don't need competition. I think you've got this one locked up and ready to go.
I appreciate it.
Any closing thoughts you'd like to, or remarks you'd like to make about your do you have any kinds of vision for the future of this place? I don't know how much longer you're here. Another year?
Yeah, I'll be here for one more year.
Because why, you have 3 majors? Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, at least you're going to have 3 degrees. You're not here another year just because you need another year to graduate. So, you want closing remarks, or do I get to make your closing remarks every time you start? I'll just interrupt.
No, it's fine. I just look forward to working next year. I think it'll be one of the most exciting jobs I've ever had, and I'm going to work hard on it. I'm going to take it seriously, and I'm going to talk to our current our vice president for athletes and see how, what he's done in the past, what works, what he would recommend for the job next year.
Right.
So I feel that I have the experience already working at stuff like that, and I think I'm going to do a very good job.
I agree. Congratulations, Mr. Aaron McCollum.
Thank you very much.
On your unofficial election to the post of Vice President for Athletic Affairs. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Dave.
Go hang out and have dinner with Austin now.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And we will. What do you think, John? Do you think he's going to win?
I don't know.
Do you think
I don't know.
Do you think maybe he'll lose to no opponent? Because he has to get at least 1 vote, right?
It's not going to be mine.
Do you think he's the kind of guy who votes for himself?
Yeah, he is. Look at him.
I know, he's standing here watching us have this conversation.
Making sure we don't say nothing bad.
I know. I guess he's waiting for us to introduce the next guy.
I cannot wait for the next
guy.
I'm definitely listening to the podcast.
Yeah. Bye, Aaron. Thanks for coming by.
I cannot wait for this.
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have here with us a gentleman running for the office of the president of SGA, here at Fictional University. Go Nickel Shiners. That's our motto.
Nickelstein?
Nickel Shiners.
Okay.
Because, all right, look.
I get that reference.
Do you get the?
Yeah,
you get the? Okay,
reference, yeah.
awesome. Then I don't have to explain it. If you don't get it at home, bing it.
Oh, Bing.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the one of the nominees, I guess, can't really call them nominees since they nominate themselves. One of the candidates. That's the word I'm looking for. One of the candidates for president, Mr. Richie Mathis. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Dave and John. It's a high honor to be here. You know, I canceled Anderson Cooper at CNN, but I'm still taping with Colbert. But this is the highest honor out of all those, and I'll be more than willing to answer any questions you may have.
Great. We we've already been bribed into Richie's mounted an actual campaign. He's got posters up around campus. He's
Posted
somehow,
his face on $100
yeah, he's
bills.
posted his face on these $100 bills and he's printed them out and giving them away. I'm not sure. They don't look anything like real $100 bills. They're just the correct size and shape and pretty near coloring, and except they've got a little mouth breather right here in the middle of them instead of Mr. Franklin.
And it says Richie Rich 2012.
It does. He's advertising himself as Richie Rich, which I don't think. Which normally when you go to if you went to a liberal arts college, that would not be the way to market yourself. But at a liberal sports college, it's not terrible. Not a terrible idea. So Richie, you are running for president. You're a sophomore, correct? You'll be a junior next year.
I'm technically classified as a junior.
You already
credits,
okay? I didn't know
but
how
this is
many.
my second year at Union.
I didn't know how many high school credits you'd saved up.
I believe I had around 20 coming in.
Oh, so you did some AP classes in high school?
I did AP and also did this program called Jumpstart with Eastern Kentucky University, and I
Right.
took 2 classes. They have a campus at Corbin.
Right.
But however, to comment on these $100 bills,
Growing
up, I was called Richie Rich, and that's really what I'm aiming for, is to provide a richer experience for students at Union College. And one thing is people who may not know me personally, that name will stick out, and that's what
true.
I'm going for, is the enriching the experience at Union College.
It's true. All right. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today. No, I'm kidding. So, okay. How have you been? I've seen the ads and stuff. Have you been getting out and talking to the people, trying to get your name out there, introduce yourself so they know who you are? Do you think maybe you should maybe take one of your $100 bills and paste it over on your application that's on the wall of the student center? They'll get to know your face, and it'll probably be taken down because somebody will think it's real and think that they have $100, which that's the entire work study check he spent on his campaign. There's a Super-PAC that's behind you. You have a Super-PAC. That must be nice.
Well, Dave, you bring up a lot of interesting issues. The issue of having the $100 bill up and the student grabbing it. I mean, if I'm here at this college, I wouldn't mind grabbing one because tuition's way too high. We need to come up with a plan to use our money efficiently, to be a steward with that money. And so the money goes to programs that count. And not only that, you need someone to be a student advocate. We've got incoming college president, as Aaron mentioned, athletic director, and a new dean of student development.
Correct.
And now that new dean could be you. I don't know, but
I wish.
But it's true that this year will be one of change. So we need someone with the experience and the vision to provide that change and to work with the president. And we need to have a strong lobby for the students. And I believe that is something I can bring to Union College. And we'll see how it goes.
Holy shit! He's like, it's like you flip a switch and he goes from this awkward, social skills of a homeschool kid mouth breather, and you flip this political switch and boom, there he is. He turns into Bill Clinton. Oh man,
It's impressive.
I'll gladly mouth breathe for the students here at Union College.
Hey,
there's enough hot air.
no sacrifice too big
Yep.
for Richie Mathis. Now, who are some politicians you've looked up to? because you've been into. You're like the only person I know who's a political science major, and you're the only person I know who cares about politics, but also can pay attention to what's going on in politics. Because a lot of people here have bumper stickers, but those are bumper stickers that their parents provided for the car that they've also provided.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you for that question. That's a good question.
I know it's a good question. That's why I fucking asked it.
Of course, I wouldn't expect anything less. As I said, you need experience for this position, and I believe I bring the educational and the experiential experience to that. And part of the educational experience, you alluded to that, one of my majors is history and political science. You guys, as mass comm majors, are holding this blog. Since it's history and political science, I feel like I have the educational background to apply what I'm learning to the position. Furthermore, the Office of President of Student Government Association, I have not missed one meeting of SGA since being here, with the exception of when I went to Frankfurt last spring and interned at the Council on Post-Secondary Education. And that's getting into what you're discussing is my political experiences. From that, I interned with Senator McConnell. I had to lobby with the Kentucky General Assembly and the governor. So with those experiences, meeting different political figures, I've seen what true candidates should be like. And then not only after election season, how do you apply that into the cycle? And one way is understanding the values of students here. And that's something I'll work towards. As far as people I'll look up to, certainly Theodore Roosevelt's my favorite president in history.
I like that answer.
Yeah. I believe that, Ronald Reagan was a good leader. Don't always
That's
agree.
a terrible answer.
Don't
Good to bad.
don't always agree with his policies, but hey, I support the President of the United States, Barack Obama. In fact, I played him at Corbin High School. I gave 2 campaign solid speeches there. I believe President Clinton had good attributes, but hey, they all have good leadership attributes. It's applying what was good and what was bad, and that's what my education here at this college is all about, is applying those. And my studies of contemporary issues have led me to do that. So.
Well, you mentioned your internships that you've had, and you mentioned your major compared to our major. There's a similarity there with us being mass comm and you being in political science and history. With us, we have this cognitive dissonance where we have to accept things that kind of clashes with what we personally believe. Like when it comes to things such as Twilight or Jersey Shore or anything else people complain about on Facebook and Twitter, it's like I don't care for this kind of stuff, but it makes a lot of money and in the entertainment business, and that's what I want to do, is make money in the entertainment business. So I see I'm forced to see the good qualities that things like the things I don't personally like have, and I wanted to tie that in with when you're a political science major, you go after these internships, and it may not always be with the politician you want it to be with, or with a politician whose views line up with yours, or you may not even be able to get one for a politician that's within your political party. Because you mentioned, interning for Mitch McConnell, and what did that really mean?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Because I personally can't stand Mitch McConnell, and I didn't think that his politics really lined up with yours, but I understood that it was an opportunity, for you to go out and, when you're working with people that have different ideas from you, you kind of take that experience, and then how do you apply it to being the president here?
Yeah. Well, I'm barred from talking about politics as far as that goes for at least a year in lobbying.
Okay, that's understandable.
But that brings up an excellent question and an issue of diversity. You have to work with different people. For instance,
for anybody wondering what that noise is in the background, John is trying to build some kind of anything out of old batteries and magnets. Continue, Richie.
John's just getting energized for this election. I don't blame him because this is an exciting election.
He looks energized.
Yep. So, to get back to your question, Senator McConnell is one of our two senators. The other one, Senator Rand Paul, both of the Republican Party. The congressman for this area is Hal Rogers, who I'll be interning for this summer. All Republicans. And so the opportunities to serve in a capacity and be to represent them was an honor. And you may not always agree with them, but to have the position of understanding where they're coming from and the leadership attributes that they bring, because they are good leaders, or they wouldn't be in the position of minority leader and chairman of the Appropriations Committee. To take those and apply those to Union College, that would be an honor. And they both have compromised on issues, and that's something that I'd be willing to do here. If there's an issue that I may not agree 100% with, I'll be glad to go 70 or 80% of the way. But connecting with the diverse crowd here is something I think is very important. And to build a vision, you have to have a lot of people involved, and that requires leadership that understands different people's values and to remain cognizant of those issues. So that's essentially what I've learned.
So you have this summer internship with Hal Rogers. Is that going to take place in Somerset?
No, that will take place in the Rayburn office building in D.C. I was awarded a Henry Clay internship, which granted me a position in the office of Congressman Hal Rogers.
Oh, so you get to go to his Washington office.
Yep, I'll be there for 6 weeks, and I'm excited because I'll be there during the July 4th weekend. It should be crazy. So
have you been to D.C. before?
I've been to D.C. Twice before. The last time I was there was actually in the lead up to the presidential elections. I went as a Department of State fellow. It's Transatlantic Fellowship, and that's where I also gained a better appreciation for politics and civil discourse. So
do you have any? Oh, John, do you have something to chime in, or are you just going to send text to your girlfriend?
I'm not texting my girlfriend.
Who are you texting?
I'm not.
John Calipari, because I'm pretty sure that's your girlfriend.
Am I allowed to say their name?
I don't know. Yeah, you can say his first name.
Dustin.
Okay, what's he doing? Let me guess, is it about fantasy sports?
No, it's about the celebration next Monday night.
There's a celebration?
After Kentucky wins the national championship.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. All right, what else can I ask Richie?
Well, when I was in Frankfurt last year, for instance, I was coming through Lexington on the way between Corbin and Frankfurt. And on the way, they announced the Final Four team will be here, and so I was actually there for the celebration when they arrived at Bluegrass Airport with jorts hanging out, chilling. So I'm an enthusiast for sports, and I hope my bracket does well.
Well, let me ask you this, and I ask because I really don't know, not only because I want you to answer, but also because I really don't know. What kind of power does the president position have at fictional universities in the Student Government Association?
Okay.
Just give me a brief overview of the duties and what powers you would have.
Okay. Well, there's about a half a page of official duties, and there's a new constitution that was approved, and I'm not sure, it's not out in public, and that's one thing I would push for is transparency as far as the Constitution goes.
Right.
But according to this year's SGA, the president doesn't actually have a vote when it comes to voting on things, to my understanding of it. Now, the Constitution, I didn't see anything on it, but I don't know about the new Constitution. With that said, you provide leadership to the SGA team. You can head committees, and the meetings that are currently held every Wednesday night, you host those meetings. You have an agenda to set, and behind the scenes, there's a lot more to it. You meet with the president of the college on issues. I'm not sure how frequently that is. You meet with the SGA advisor, who that will have to change because the dean's leaving this year, as you know. So between those, you give 2 speeches a year, and you initiate a project for the whole campus, and you also hold a training for the SGA, kind of like to build leadership and camaraderie between them. So those are some of the major duties out there. Because here's all I know about SGA. I'm not saying this is all they do. I'm saying this is all I know of. Is that they either approve or deny funds for different clubs. Yeah. That's the majority of what the meetings are. So that's really. Because, people
don't know all the other stuff they do, because when you go to meetings,
That's all
it's
they
mostly
do.
club,
Yeah.
just club business.
And that's exactly what I'm going to push for, is more transparency in what happens. I've asked at a meeting before, where's the updated Constitution? Where's our budget? None of that's handed out. And so I would actually push for a creation of a website just for SGA, like in athletics. Post all the information. What exactly do we do?
Right.
Justifications for things. Post a budget, because that is our money right there.
You're correct.
And
I
so,
agree.
if students are paying a liberal arts college price, they should know where their money's going to. That's what I'll push for. And not only that, we have to be unbiased in the way we give out our money. So with that, make it transparent. Show what we're doing. Show what we're supposed to be doing. So we're held accountable, but also people are informed. You bring up a good issue also, in the fact that most of the meetings are just about clubs and all these other things. With this new leadership in, we need an advocate for the students. We need to provide change, because there needs to be change here. And to be an advocate, you have to understand what the students want. So I would host forums. In fact, I may have to get your guys' advice on even open up a blog or a podcast to speak directly to the students. And I would, the new student of PR, whoever that will be elected, vice president of PR, I would work with them on that. So between the mass comm majors, which would be very beneficial to SGA, and creation of a website and a podcast and a blog, we need to post all this up, because who knows about the budget? Who knows about the Constitution? Who knows what's going on? We need that up.
I agree with you there, because of one very specific thing, which is when it comes to the transparency, there's also a matter of students have to ask for these things, and there's really not a lot of. I get called an instigator, but a lot of it is just me wanting to know the answer to things, like on our account balances that we can look at on the website that hosts each student has a thing that tells. I can't really give the name of it, but it's myfictionaluniversity.com, and you can just fill it in from there. Basically, they've taken things like, you can see the fees on there that we have to pay. And they've taken a lot of things and sort of smushed them together and called it a comprehensive fee. And it used to be like the technology fee, the yearbook fee, laundry fee. They've taken a few smaller fees and kind of scrunched them under one heading. And now this year, that amount went up $75. And I don't know why. Nobody knows why. No, I want to know. I want to know where my money's going at all times. This is money that I have to pay, and I feel that I should be able to see an itemized list of what I'm buying like any other receipt.
I completely agree with that, and what you are discussing, I believe, is getting the student fees, and that's actually where SGA gets their money.
Right.
They have to split it with CAB, the other organization that does that.
But now those used to be listed. They were listed, and then it was all just kind of glommed in under one heading.
Two things on that. One is we need to itemize that. We need to make it transparent, put it on the new website that I'm proposing. And second, let's add a justification to that. Let's just not add a list of that. And if there's not a justification for that, guess what? I will lead a committee that looks at that. I'll write a report, and then I'll go to the president or whoever needs to look at that. And we'll push for students to know exactly where their money's going for. And if it's not going towards any good cause, let's get rid of it.
I'm for it. I like what I'm hearing right now. Now,
all the right things.
Yes. Yeah. It's like maybe he really is a politician. Maybe picking political science as a major was the correct move. John, why don't you lay out a question?
What am I supposed to ask him?
I don't know. You're the co-host.
Why should somebody like me, who doesn't care about politics and just goes with the flow, don't really care about anything, why should I vote for you? Or why should people like me vote for you?
Excellent question. I would say, first off, you care more about these things than you realize. And I think realizing students' potential and what they can do is something that I'll try to push for. Second off, I don't want you worrying about all these politics or all these policies, because that will be my job. I'll post up what I'll do, and so you don't have to worry about that. And if you have an issue with something, I'll be open to answer that. And if you have a question, I'll be open to answering that, and I can point you to the website for the data and whatnot, as far as that goes. So between those two ideas, I believe that's what I would push for. And relating to the average person, the average student who, may be non-traditional, who may have kids, who may have a job, who may have an athletic team, we got to work with them. We got to make sure that they don't have to worry about where's my student fees going to. We'll publish that up. So I guess getting rid of that worry for you and also encourage you to be engaged on campus would be two things I would push for.
Sound good? Got any more questions, John?
Well, that was it.
I have a little something I want to say, and it's really more of a public service announcement for all 9 people that hear the show, but then maybe they can pass the information on to other people. There's been quite a bit going around the campus lately where it comes to censorship, and people are afraid that Fictional University is going to clamp down on social media and censor what people say and stuff like that. And what people need to understand is that's not correct. That's not happening. Nobody here in the administration is trying to police or censor the things you're saying on Facebook and Twitter. While I personally believe that they should, to save the majority of you from yourselves, because I read your Facebook and Twitter and they're awful and they make you look stupid. And I'm not talking about the pictures of you with a drink, or doing a keg stand. I'm not talking about the pictures of you on spring break having fun. That's nothing. I'm talking about the dumb things you say. They're just the casual racism, the casual misogyny, just the other just dumb, explicit things that get said. Look, and you can say, Fictional University sucks. I don't like Fictional University. I have complained more in my 3 years publicly on Facebook and Twitter than I don't know. Is there anybody who's ever tried to poke as many holes as I have?
I don't think so.
No.
And this college, the administration here, has never come to me and said you need to take this down, or they've never said you don't need to say that.
Nope.
So you guys don't need to worry about it, and please spread the word that it's not going to happen, because I heard people bringing up freedom of speech. Well, that doesn't really apply, because freedom of speech is something that's afforded to you by the government from the government. It doesn't really concern private corporations and the standards that they set. And if you don't believe Fictional University is a private corporation, then I don't know what to tell you. Nothing I can say is going to change your mind if you refuse to accept that fact, because it is. It is, and I mean, I'm not. It just is. There's not a judgment along with that sentence. It's just a statement of fact. And like I said, if they're not censoring me, they're not going to censor you. Now, I understand, people might have had problems with their coach, but if you, or with athletes sometimes might say things that would get them in trouble. Well, that's your own maturity level that's causing the problem, because I'll go back to UK. What does Coach Cal do when somebody's talking too much on Twitter?
Takes it away from them.
Takes it away from them. And guess what? They say, okay. They say, you're right, Coach. You know why? Because they want to succeed. And, sometimes you have to admit that other people know what's best for you. It's a hard pill to swallow, and I sure don't like swallowing it. But I pass out that pill enough that, I understand that it's true. People know better than me all the times, and I just have to admit it when I'm wrong. What do you think about censorship, Mr. Mathis?
Well, censorship, I think, is a bad word around here. So I will say that I do concur with a lot of the sentiments that you mentioned. I believe, first off, if you feel like you want to change something, or if you just want to complain, let that be out there. And so people who could be an SGA officer can make changes like that. But I think another point to add on to what you're saying is, if you're a leader, I believe you're held a little more accountable. Not saying that you shouldn't be allowed to do this, but there's a certain code. So if an SGA president posts all this negative stuff about union, then I believe that's counterproductive because that person should be fighting for change.
Right, and that person's actually in a position better than anyone to do something.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason I'm running is I've heard a lot of complaints, I've heard a lot of issues, and I want to bring that and see what I can do with it, bring it to the new leadership coming in, and they're being willing to change. My opinion is that, hey, they want to get the consent of the student body, they want to gain approval of them, so they'll be more than willing to open up to what the students have to hear, and I hope to be the voice for those students, and that's something I would push for.
The voice of the voiceless.
The voice of the voiceless. That's what I like to hear. Let's see. Any more questions, John? Any more statements? Any more anything?
I don't know what to say.
No? You got nothing?
No.
Are you going to go to bed as soon as we're done here?
I got wrestling to watch tonight.
Oh, yeah. No more The Voice for you?
I'm going to have to catch up first.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to catch up.
You've not missed a whole lot. You need to make sure you're catching up on. Are y'all caught up on Community? You seen both new episodes?
I'm 4 weeks behind on The Office, 6 weeks behind on Parks and Rec, 2 weeks behind on Community.
Well,
And
Parks and Rec has been off the last 2 weeks.
Has
So
it?
yeah,
Okay.
when Community came back, 30 Rock shifted to 8:30, and Parks and Rec will be back. I think April 13th or
Okay.
15th, something like that.
so I don't have as much to catch up on.
Right.
I have a question for you. When you were at the World of Coke, did you see the Coca-Cola Scholars?
I couldn't find it.
Yeah. Well, when I was a
There you
Coca-Cola
go.
scholar,
Humble brag.
I saw.
Humble brag.
Hey, I gotta get out there because I
Is
did.
it like a wall, like the Vietnam Memorial in Washington? You go into the Coke Museum and there's just this wall of names
Well, I
of
really
Coke
did
scholars.
look for it. I talked to Sam about it. I'm like, let's try to find it because Richie said his face might be up there. So I looked around,
Yeah.
but we were really tired too. So
Well, I don't want to compare myself to a Vietnam vet. That certainly wouldn't be good.
No,
But,
that's my job as host to compare and make comparisons.
but anyways, yeah, the World Coke. The reason I'm bringing that up was my least favorite drink was Beverly from Italy. Did you try that one?
that was terrible.
At first, you're like, oh, it's not too bad, but the aftertaste was horrible.
My girlfriend said the one from Japan was terrible.
Yeah, it's bad too.
What is it? Is it like, I'm sure the one from Mexico was great because it had cane sugar and not
Oh,
corn
good.
syrup.
That was my favorite one. I guess.
Yeah.
I think that was right. No, my favorite one was from South America.
There was a few, I think, maybe from China that might have been a little fruity, and I like that little fruity stuff. So, but it's clear that the U.S. one has the most sugar and ingredients, that we love and our teeth hate. So.
Well, I was looking for because they had the North America one. And I was hoping they would have like Surge. Do you remember Surge?
Oh, I love
Oh,
Surge,
wow,
yeah.
And like the new Coke that
That was out for 2 weeks.
I wish they would have. I wish they had those two. They didn't have those two.
Surge was a 5-hour energy before 5-hour energy was around.
Yeah. What about Citra? Do they have Citra?
No.
I think I was
They
the
had
only person who drank
Fresca.
Citra.
Fresca.
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 Fresca's the goods, baby.
Yep. That I think I've seen those around Europe when I've been around, if I'm not
Oh.
mistaken. So.
Humble brag.
Oh, you've been to?
World.
Have you been to Europe, Richie?
Well, I don't know if you would count it, what you would think of Europe. I've been to Eastern Europe and Eurasia. And in fact, I see a piece of fine pottery in your humble abode that has turkey on it, I believe. And I've been there. So
Yep.
it's a wonderful place. So
You look around the fridge, you'll find plenty of stuff that's got turkey on it.
Hey.
Hey-o. You don't want to talk about food this week, I'm guessing, John?
Absolutely.
Don't want to talk about turkey and waffles? Turkey and pancakes? Is that what you... No?
No. Food.
No? All right.
that's why you got to stick with the KFC, John. I mean,
No chicken. No fried chicken for me in the next 4 months.
Oh, well, I guess I would like to thank the Strunk Super-PAC for the generous endorsements provided for today's show.
Thanks.
Thanks. Follow at bstrunk on Twitter.
Former
He's
SGA
the
president.
Former SGA president?
Yes.
Really?
And he
Well,
backs. Who's he backing right now?
Who's he back? Former SGA president at bstrunk on Twitter. He's backing Richie Mathis.
yeah.
Well, he is the founder of the Strunk Super-PAC. that so generously provided compensation for today's show.
$1.50.
Yep, John's half is $1.50.
And I'm not allowed to cooperate with him in any way, so I had no idea about this.
That's
so
true. He didn't
federally
know.
guard against this, so I can't. work
Richie
with
just
him.
knows that we invited him to be on the show today.
Yep, that's it.
Well, it's too bad Will couldn't be with us.
Not really.
I don't think Will's gonna win, so I'm sorry, Will. Well, he doesn't listen to our show anyway.
We're good.
I'm sure Chris will go and tell him that
Yeah,
I
Chris will
said
listen.
that Will's not gonna win. Will, go get your surgery on your stupid leg.
On your fake injury.
On your
Go get a
fake-
fake surgery on your fake injury, Will.
Will, it's bowling, not baseball. You don't have to fake an injury.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
At JNorth0 on Twitter is John. At Killprint is me. Richie, what's your Twitter?
Lil Richard 41. I believe I haven't been on in 3 years. I only make appropriate tweets once every 3 years, but I do have Facebook. But I do have
Little Richard
Facebook,
41.
Richie Mathis. So I'll be glad to
So,
answer any questions
all right.
that your viewers may have. I'm sure they're well informed. Feel free to contact me.
Well,
and I do
we call
appreciate
them listeners.
it. Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here, Richie. America the Beautiful is done. So, John, you want to have another show next week?
Maybe.
We're running out of time.
Maybe not.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Thanks, Richie, for being here.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks to Brian Strunk. Thanks to John North for being here on time, even though he's recovering from his illness.
What up?
Thanks to Aaron McCollum for being here, even though he's running unopposed. Because if anybody on the planet has ever Kramered their way through life, it is Aaron
Aaron
McCollum.
McCollum.
Peace out.